Investigators who were looking at the downing of Malaysia Airlines flight MH17 back in 2014 say this morning they have definitive proof the airliner was shot down by a Russian Army missile system.
All findings from this forensic investigation confirm the earlier conclusion of the JIT that flight MH17 was shot down by a 9M38 series BUK missile.
The key statement, unequivocal there. Investigators saying both the missile and the launcher used to shoot down the aircraft belonged to the Russian military. All 298 passengers and crew were killed in that incident going back to July of 2014.
Today, though, the big news is that they say they actually have hard evidence that that missile system was carried across the border from the Russian city of Kursk into rebel-held separatist territory in eastern Ukraine. They're even naming the brigade. They say it was the Russian 53rd Antiaircraft Brigade that carried it across in a convoy of vehicles that they say all belonged to the Russian military.
The Joint Investigation Team concludes the BUK that shot down flight MH17 originated from the 53rd Antiaircraft Missile Brigade from Kursk in the Russian Federation. On this satellite image, you will see the home base of the 53rd Brigade in Mashala Zhukova, near the city of Kursk. The base consists of various areas with buildings for troops, workshops and ammunition storage. One of the parking lots of the 53rd Brigade shows several vehicles, including BUK. On the 23rd of June 2014, a convoy of the 53rd Brigade left the base in a southerly direction. It was a large convoy consisting of almost 50 different vehicles, including 6 BUK. During the convoy's journey, dozens of photos and videos were taken of the vehicles and posted on social media. The JIT has recorded license plates and other relevant characteristics of these vehicles in order to compare these shots with each other. In addition, all the environmental characteristics visible on the photos or videos of the places where the convoy passed by were analysed by the JIT. The recordings show objects along the way that exactly match objects in Google Street View. In this manner, every location was validated. Moreover, the recordings have been placed in chronological order. This is how the route of the convoy was reconstructed. The convoy was first videoed on the 23rd of June 2014. At the time, it was driving on the R298 towards Nikolskoye. Then the convoy is videoed further south in the city of Troitsky. It can clearly be seen the huge vehicles disrupt traffic and attract a lot of attention. This may explain why there is so much footage of the convoy on social media. Almost all vehicles in the convoy have vehicle number 2 as the first digit of the 3 digits on their side. The 2 signifies it comes from the 2nd Battalion. Of the 6 BUK in the convoy, only 1 has a vehicle number starting with a 3. This means that this vehicle is part of the 3rd Battalion. Later on, we will get back to this particular vehicle. All vehicles are part of the 53rd Brigade. In the city of Stary Oskol, the convoy is frequently photographed and videoed. The collected images of this convoy helped the JIT establish the characteristics of the BUK that were transported. On one of the video recordings, the right side of the BUK in question can be clearly recognized. The convoy is then videoed a little north of Niezhnamovo while it is traveling south on the R188. Here, the left side of the BUK in question can be clearly seen and recognized. In the evening of the 23rd of June, the convoy is videoed again. At that moment, the vehicles are on the Ulitsa Lenina in Khradish, driving in an easterly direction. About 175 kilometers have been covered since the convoy's departure from the base in Kursk. 1 day later, on the 24th of June 2014, the convoy is videoed during 5 minutes near the place Raskiviets. Further down the road, the convoy is captured in various places on video and photo in and near Alexeyevka. The last images of this convoy that the JIT hold are of the 25th of June 2014. The military vehicles travel westbound and passed south of the city of Milereva on the R115. At this point, the convoy was about 25 kilometers from the border with Ukraine. The BUK used to shoot down flight MH17 was recorded multiple times on the 17th and 18th July 2014, when it was transported in Ukraine on a red low-loader pulled by a Volvo truck with a white cabin. This was already shown by the Joint Investigation Team in September 2016. A large number of specific features of this BUK can be seen on these photo and video recordings. The combination of these specific characteristics forms a so-called fingerprint of this BUK so that it can be compared with other BUK of the same type. The JIT has assessed and compared a large number of BUK images. This concerned BUK that are used mostly by Ukraine and the Russian Federation. After extensive comparative investigation, the Joint Investigation Team concludes the fingerprint of the BUK that shot down flight MH17 matches the fingerprint of one BUK of the 53rd Brigade, and not to any other BUK. We will now show 7 of these features. On the left side of the vehicle there are a cross in a circle as a center of gravity marking, a transport marker, below a white spot on the side skirt, and 2 small spots where normally there should be a vehicle number. On the right side you can also see a white marking on the side skirt. In addition, there is an opening in the rubber side skirt. And finally, the combination of the running wheels, where the second from last running wheel is the only one that has no spokes. A center of gravity marking is used to indicate the center point of the mass of a vehicle, which is important when the vehicle is being transported. These markings come in many shapes and sizes. We see the center of gravity marking on the images from Makivka and Donetsk in Ukraine, as well as on footage from Alexeyevka in Russia. A transport marking is placed on a vehicle when it is transported by train. This also occurs in different types and sizes. The center of gravity and transport marking are in exactly the same spot in all images. Furthermore, a white spot is visible on the rubber side skirt. This marking on the BUK of the 53rd Brigade is visible on the footage from Donetsk in Ukraine and Nizhny in Russia. This image also shows part of a vehicle number, that is, a 3 and a 2. On the images from Ukraine, only a few stripes are visible on that spot. It is customary for vehicle numbers to be deleted or painted over if a BUK is deployed operationally. The pieces that are still visible in Makivka fit exactly with the original number from the Russian Federation. The white spot, the transport marking, the center of gravity marking and the vehicle number are always placed in exactly the same position. This makes them unique for this BUK. Various unique features of this BUK are also visible on the right-hand side. Most striking is the combination of running wheels. For TILA vehicles, there are only 2 types of running wheels with spokes and running wheels without. In Staryoskol in Russia, a recording was made of this BUK. We clearly see that the second running wheel from the rear is the only one that has no spokes. Also in Torez, Ukraine, on the 17th of July 2014, the right side was videoed. The image has a high contrast due to the bright sun. As a result, the wheels themselves are not clearly visible. However, the shadows are typical for the different wheels. In this computer simulation, the sun is in the same position as during the recording of the visual material in Torres on the 17th of July. The shadow effect shows the difference between wheels with and without spokes. This shows that all the wheels of this BUK TLR are spoke wheels, with the exception of the second from the rear on the right side. The combination of running wheels of the TLR from Staroskol and Torres is therefore the same. Then we see a white spot on the side skirt. This is probably also a transport marking. The last matching feature that we show you is an opening in the rubber side skirt. Side skirts are available in all shapes and colors. This opening is also identical in the photographs from Ukraine and those from the Russian Federation. And here too, this applies not only to the similarity itself, but also to the position of the opening compared to other features, such as the previously shown running wheels and the white marking on the skirt. On the basis of several characteristics, the JIT has made a fingerprint of the BUK TLR that shot down flight MH17. We have shown 7 of these. On the left you saw the transport marking, the center of gravity marking, the white spot on the side skirt. What is left of the vehicle number? On the right you saw the combination of running wheels, the second running wheel from the rear being the only one without spokes, the opening in the side skirt, a white marking. This fingerprint makes this BUK TLR unique. The JIT has assessed many BUK TLRs that are in use mostly by Ukraine and by the Russian Federation. The JIT has observed the fingerprint of the BUK TLR that shot down flight MH17 only in one BUK TLR, and that is the one specific BUK TLR of the 53rd Brigade from the convoy that we showed you. The Joint Investigation Team concludes the BUK TLR that shot down flight MH17 originates from the 53rd Brigade from Kursk in the Russian Federation.